If you've ever been worried about your relationship and thinking your partner might be pulling away, even when on the outside things seem perfectly fine, or if you've ever felt emotionally overwhelmed and like you might be either too much or not enough for your partner in the relationship, it might be your attachment system telling you these things. I'm Daniel, professional therapist and hobby baker, and in today's episode, we'll be therabaking glazed lemon blueberry buns and talking about anxious attachment style in adult relationships. So what exactly does it mean to have an anxious attachment style? People with anxious attachment often find themselves feeling uncertain about their partner's love or commitment. They might crave constant closeness and validation, but still worry they're not enough. This can lead to intense emotional highs and lows, and sometimes overthinking small things that can happen in the relationship. Attachment patterns form in childhood, in relationships with caregivers, and can lead to similar patterns in our adult or marital relationships. Anxious patterns might form from caregivers that are inconsistent in attuning to a child's emotional needs for comfort and connection. When a child cannot predict a positive or negative response, they may feel insecure in the relationship or about their emotions and need for connection. One moment that parent might be warm and attentive, the next distant or unavailable. This unpredictability causes a sense of insecurity that can get carried into adult relationships. When a child experiences this inconsistency and they can't quite predict when they'll get their emotional needs met, they develop an anxious style of attachment. It's like constantly trying to find ways to get attention or love, but never fully feeling secure in it. If this pattern continues and is present in adult relationships, it can over time turn into patterns of emotional dependency, fear of abandonment, and even difficulty trusting their partner. The anxious attachment style is typically associated with a sensitive nervous system, where you might be looking for danger cues or cues that your partner is pulling away or disconnected, whether you have an accurate or inaccurate interpretation of those cues. It also may be difficult to communicate your needs directly. A request for closeness and physical touch might sound like, "Why don't you ever want to sit by me when we watch a movie?" rather than, "Could you come cuddle with me while we watch? It's been a long day and I really appreciate your physical presence and reassurance." Or the anxious attachment pattern might also show up through protesting or acting out when triggered, doing things like critiquing or making your partner jealous when you feel disconnected. If you resonate with any of this, my hope is understanding these patterns will help you better understand the moments you are really needing or wanting closeness and connection. But first, let's go over what a mix of anxious attachment might look like in adult relationships with other attachment styles. First up, the anxious and avoidant attachments. The anxious partner might crave closeness and reassurance, while the avoidant partner tends to pull back and need more space. This can create a cycle where the anxious partner feels neglected and the avoidant partner feels overwhelmed. The more the anxious partner seeks reassurance, the more the avoidant partner withdraws, and vice versa. This dynamic can lead to a lot of frustration and misunderstanding, where the anxious partner feels like their needs are never fully met, and the avoidant partner feels like they're being suffocated. Next, the anxious and disorganized attachment. Disorganized attachment is a mix of anxious and avoidant behaviors, often stemming from trauma or abuse in childhood. These individuals are unsure of what they want and might push someone away one moment and then desperately seek closeness the next. This creates a confusing and unstable dynamic where the anxious partner feels even more uncertain and fearful of rejection. Finally, when the anxious and secure partner, the dynamic is much different. The secure partner is emotionally stable and able to offer consistent reassurance. They can help the anxious partner feel safe, and though the anxious partner may still struggle with occasional fears of abandonment. The key here is that the secure partner's consistency and open communication can help the anxious partner feel more grounded and loved. If you relate to this anxious attachment pattern, the good news is these patterns are not fixed in stone. To heal, the anxious attachment style must focus on recognizing and meeting their own needs, practicing self-regulation, and learning how to shift complaints into expressions of wants and needs. So luckily, we can move from insecure patterns to a secure attachment style. Repeated experiences of noticing the pattern, regulating, and expressing needs for connection in a way that it can be met will begin to shift your understanding and felt sense of security in yourself and in your relationship. If you're interested in specific practices to work through, for an anxious attachment style. Comment the word anxious, and I'll work on some videos with guided walkthroughs of these practices. And if you want to learn a little more about attachment styles in general, watch this video that walks through a general overview of attachment theory. Thanks for watching. See you next time.